Why would they play a card that restricts the way we summon, but lets us choose which kind of summoning we can do? I don't know. Maybe it's to kill your strategy, you idiot! Think about this for a minute. If I'm playing against Cosmos and I open that spell card that restricts the summoning that the sisters used, if they don't have an E-Tally, they are screwed. Because they gotta either summon the farm girl, wait till my turn to use it, to which case I could have already set up an established board turn 1, because this is Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2016, and they are dead. A floodgate like this would end the duel. Why don't you know this? You're supposed to be good at this game. Oh my god. Oh lord. And a related note, why does Yuya just summon the monkey board? Like, it's monkey board. It got limited to 1 3 weeks after it got released. Just put it in the scale, add lizard draw to your hand, draw off lizard draw, pendulum summon 3, and you're good. That's it. What the heck happened here? Oh my god. Okay, so that ends my rant as a Yu-Gi-Oh player as to what went wrong in this episode. Now we can talk about everything else that went wrong in these 2 episodes. First up, though, I will talk about what went well, because everything that went well happened last week. First up, the character of Sayaka. I'm actually really starting to like this girl. Like, I mean, I already kind of was starting to like her with the way they handled everything with her relationship with Ruri, but I really enjoyed the forward momentum here. Shows like this, Japanese or American, have a history of the character admitting their guilt, and if they're not important enough, they won't try and solve it. They'll just cower and hide and let the main character do everything. But here, she does try to, and on the one hand, it is stupid, but she's still a stupid kid, so I was willing to buy it. And it did lead to a really great tag duel between her, Eyebrows Kid, I forget his name, and the Tyler sisters. First up, I kind of like the Tyler sisters a lot. They're lunatics. I like the designs. I like the fact that they choose scenery, but they choose scenery in a way that still makes them scary. Like, you get a sense that these two are so strong, so psychotic, and have killed so many people that it's just a big joke to them. And I thought that was shown really, really well. So I like that element of it. The duel itself I also enjoyed. I like that Sayaka made mistakes. I like that it was how someone in that situation, someone that jumpy, someone who is clearly not a fighter, and someone like that, like a child, would act in that situation. It was the same thing with Yuma back in Zale. He is a kid. He is going to make mistakes like that, and he is going to jump headfirst into a situation, especially in a world where there are no rules. It was sort of weird. I like seeing the Amazons. I'm not a big Amazonas fan, just not an archetype that's ever appealed to me, but it was neat to see them get a couple cool, interesting fusions. It'll never make the deck relevant, but it's fun to watch. I did find it weird that Sayaka and the boy use Fairy Cheergle and Trains, respectively, because those are Zale archetypes. And this isn't like when we saw the Ojamas and the other archetypes a couple episodes ago. These were legitimate major... These two are supposed to be major characters getting major screen time, not just Easter eggs from people we're never going to see again. These two are relevant, and I assume will be here for a while. So, and again, I'm liking these two characters, but I almost kind of wonder why not just bring back Kotori and Anna for this? Especially because, like, I find it strange that GX and 5Ds get 2 characters each. Zale only gets 1. Now, you could make the argument Heartland is the direct city here. It's not a city based off of the city from the previous series, like with the GX and 5D stuff. This is the same city, so therefore that's almost like having an entire setting is sort of a bring back. And also, you know, Zale was the most recent Yu-Gi-Oh! So revisiting too many characters like that, some people might get annoyed with. Like, I remember when Dark Rebellion came out and it was relevant to the plot, a lot of people were like, oh, come on, we're going back right to Xy's. We just did those. So I get it. I do understand it, but I just find it just was distracting. Like, again, these are 2 just sort of minor characters. And I do like getting to see the older cards, especially because Trains were such insane deck in the OCG, especially when combined with Shadul's when Chikinaga came out, that they're neat to see. But I much rather either they have their own decks or you just bring those two characters back, especially because these two do have very similar personalities. Sayaka being very similar to Kotori in that they're both nurturing personalities, not really duelists, and the boy being similar to Anna in seeming very headstrong and an inventor. And again, it is always nice to get better female characters in this, but for what it was fine. Again, I like the way the duel went. I like that the turn where they thought they could win felt very natural, so I was fine with that. The problem came this week, and what I mean by this week, I mean essentially everything about this week's episode felt very rushed. My dueling issues that I mentioned at the beginning, I am willing to forgive because they were just those monsters were just there. Like Monkey Board was just there to be there. A lot of other things about that were like that. I'm willing to forgive all that if the duel itself was entertaining, and even though it had a couple cute gimmicks, the duel was entertaining. The problem is the emotion wasn't there. Also, the whole sort of, they had so many continuous spawn trap cards. Again, I know the show isn't supposed to replicate the meta, but I'm just sitting there thinking, and nobody has Twin Twister in this world, so that's why this is a problem. But the thing is that it was so rushed. Uto just accepts what Yuya wants to do. Last time when we met Edo, Yuto took over. Yuto was so mad and so angry and had brought so much darkness and violence to the situation that he took over Yuya's body. His soul was so consuming and so full of rage, Yuya just left the picture. I mean, obviously they went back and forth, but that's how much anger he had. He knows for a fact these two have killed his friends, have killed hundreds of innocent people, and they're getting sadistic pleasure from it. Why is it here he's not taking over? Why not have this be the ultimate pushing point? Shun is regressing back to this because he's facing them. A character who has grown, and even him going back to the way he was to fight these Tyler sisters, I'm okay with. They are that disturbing characters. But the thing is that they're just like, sure, Yuya, sure, 14-year-old boy, we're totally going to let you just take over the situation. We're not going to let all our anger and hatred and emotions rule us, even though that would make sense, and that's how we've operated this whole time. And also, it just felt rushed to me. Like, even the climax. I just have one miracle spell card that just negates everything and isn't a problem. I'm just like, come the fuck on. It is so cheap. And again, it's just the fact that I know the show can do better than this. I know we can go to those emotional places. I know it can get very dark. I don't know why we're not going dark here. I don't know why we're, kind of going just sort of generic here. Also, I'm getting sick and tired of the Yuya formula of we get one episode of the darkness, we get one episode where we see him push to his mental and emotional limits, and then we're just right back to, I can solve everything with smiles. And again, it's just starting to get old and it's starting to wear on me, just the formula this thing follows. Again, this could have been really entertaining. I just felt like it played it safe. Even the animation felt stilted. I don't think the Tyler sisters did much movement in this at all. I think they just sort of stood there stagnant, and the whole episode is basically just set up for the rematch between Yuya and Edo. And in a related note, that ending, what the hell? Like, why don't you take the Tyler sisters as hostages? Like, you have an opportunity to learn about your enemy, and you know that if you let them go, they're just going to learn from their mistakes, come back, and kill you later. We haven't established that Yuya, even though Yuya doesn't want to kill anyone, we haven't established he doesn't mind common sense. Like, just take them and you could get really interesting. They could learn more about the enemy. They could learn more about the Arc Area project. They could really take advantage of these two. But the thing is that they just let them go and run away. Like, what the hell? I understand you have to carry 4 people, including a grown man, but the thing is that you can't do anything with these two. You're just gonna let them go? Like, what the hell was happening here? It just feels like everything for this episode was just kind of set up. Like, we set up this really cool plot with Yuya and Uto. Well, now that's over. You set up sort of this interesting thing with Sayaka and the boy. Well, that will probably never get any more attention. Even Sawatori and Gogenzaka were just there to be there. Like, it's just kind of a letdown for me. Again, if you all liked it, that's fine. I'm sorry. I just found this disappointing and lackluster. But what did you think? In the comment section below, tell me that. And also for this week's TCG question of the week, Aura Mages are getting support. I like this. I don't know why Aura Mages only got that one set. It's a cool concept for the game of a deck that actually focuses on raising life points like we saw in this episode. Do you think with the new stuff they're getting, they could get really good, or do you think they'll stay mediocre? I want to know that as well. And as always, click to like and click to subscribe, because next week I guess we get more Smile World.